Mr. Reardon, please approach. You have been charged with improper equipment and DUI first offense. How do you plead, sir?
It wasn't a no tag, Your Honor.
Well,
Expired.
How do you plead, sir?
Not guilty.
Mr. Reardon, we will add this to your other charges, and we're going to continue all these cases to allow you the time to seek legal advice, give you adequate time to prepare your defense. So I think you have some cases scheduled next week, is that correct?
On the 22nd of March.
And I believe you have actually asked for more time to prepare.
Yes,
correct?
yes, Your Honor. I asked for all cases in justice court to be pushed out. Did you get the last petition?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Rule 1.10. I didn't know if you had any clarification on that, or if that was something you would address on the trial date.
Usually I don't comment in court, but Mr. Reardon, if it was your actual trial for the charges, you are allowed the audio report. If you go back and look at your petition, your motion before the court, you asked for a teleconference or a conference between the prosecutor and the judge. Is that correct?
That was for the motion to dismiss or in the alternative to compel.
That's what
Yes.
we had the conference for.
Yes, Your Honor.
Under the rules, I have every right not to allow you the audio or video report. At your trial, you are allowed the audio report. That is correct. But that wasn't your trial.
Okay.
That was a teleconference or conference in person that you asked for. There is a difference. After the trial, I was made aware that you had reported the clerk and myself and put on YouTube. Because of this, I believe it would be in the best interest of all parties for me to recuse myself. I'm going to recuse myself, assigned to another judge, or a judge will be brought in from another county. We're going to continue this. Do we have your proper address and telephone number so we can get a hold of you?
I know the other courts do. I'll gladly give that.
Can you go to the front window and make sure that they have your proper address and telephone number?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
want to make sure we get all this combined and have it at one hearing. The court, I recuse myself and let the court handle it and bring in another judge from another county.
Okay, so it's not combining all the cases into one for a trial on that purpose, but just for the recusal, you're saying?
I'm going to let the clerk of the court decide that. Once I've recused myself, as far as the next day and the judge is assigned to, that is up to the
Okay, sir, if you would, sign and put your phone number, please. Just got a court date of
make
March.
sure he puts,
And I'll put my address on there as well. Okay. So, Your Honor, it is going to be. You said you were going to. So I still need to be back here on the 22nd of March.
We'll let you know by before the end Monday and definitely we have contact the circuit court.
Got Circuit Court. I'm about to do a writ of mandamus. Okay. Okay.
Judge
Sounds
John
good.
Kelly Reason, whereas I submitted a
I wish you well. Thank you, Judge.
motion for Rule 60
Mm-hmm.
right before Christmas.
Yeah.
That has gone unanswered. Here it is 3
That's
months
unusual.
later. 3 months later. It's because I nailed everything right spot on.
Yeah.
Like, you can't dispute it. It's in the Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure.
Yeah.
I was never afforded a preliminary hearing.
Right.
Within 14 days, I had to have been released on my own recognizance, personal recognizance, in the absence of not receiving a preliminary hearing within 14 days. You know, I was supposed to get my bond set at the most minimal amount whenever it was over 48 hours before I went before a judge.
Right.
So both of those two play, you know, the whole reason I fled out was because I was in jail for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm moving in the right direction, but they keep hammering me. I was going to ask you your opinion on this. Maddie was there. She witnessed everything. I was bringing her medicine.
Okay.
I had taken a hit off of a one-hitter, a bat, some weed, 3 hours prior. I shouldn't have ever admitted that whenever they said it smelled like weed, but I did.
Yeah.
They didn't find anything in the car.
Mm-hmm.
They made me ride under arrest to the sheriff's department to take a field sobriety test there. even though I said I wanted to speak to an attorney. I said I don't consent to this, to be, transported off the campus.
Yeah.
There's never any signs, no red eyes, anything.
Yeah.
Passed the field sobriety test with flying colors. In fact, I want to get the video from the Sally Port.
Yeah.
But did they have? I know that a Terry stop, like they can detain for a certain amount of time. I think like 30 minutes or something. Did they have the legal authority to transport me to the jail to take a field sobriety test? And then they did it with me with my arms behind my back under the arrest.
My understanding of the various laws of consent is, okay, did they ask you to do it? Okay, did they ask you at that point in time to do a field sobriety test?
No.
They did not.
They said they insisted on me doing it at the sheriff's department. Away.
It seems unusual.
Normally they would find something in the
Right.
car in order to make a DUI.
I would think there would have to be some type of reasonable basis to justify what is going to essentially be taking you into custody in order to continue a Terry stop that is not actually at the stop. So I honestly can't tell you.
Especially after I verbalized that I don't consent. I want to speak to an attorney. They would not let me get my phone. They would not let me make a phone call.
Well, the right to an attorney doesn't kick in until it's custodial interrogation. There's an argument to be made that custodial interrogation kicks in with a field sobriety test and you don't feel as though you can freely break off the engagement. So it's an argument.
Well, it's an argument that I didn't have adequate legal representation. I was trying to. If I would have had,
if it's just a Terry stop, there's a question of does the right to an attorney kick in at that point in time? They're probably going to say no. And
But
I'd love to
Terry
sit here and
stop's
keep talking to you.
30 minutes, right?
I've got court here in about 5 minutes. I got to run.
30 minutes, so it's Terry stop, right? It was over 30.
I wouldn't know. I know you're thirst. I would assume you're right.
David.
Hey, Mr. O'Donnell, it's Matt Reardon.
Hey.
Hey,
I have not about to look at it. There's one document that relates to that call. It wasn't really a call, it was an investigation. So there's a series of actions by the investigator. I have to take a look at it to determine whether or not it's a document that's subject to production. So, but I did confirm, Matt, that there was no recording on a phone call.
Okay. I don't understand how a call coming into the sheriff's department, how there's recordings of everything else that comes in there, but somehow that call, and see, and why they wouldn't even just say that from the beginning if that was actually truly the case. I think there is a call.
Well, I'm being told there was not. And I'll give you an example. Like, we get requests all the time for like 911 calls to come in. Those are all recorded, but they're all not subject to production. They're not public documents.
Okay. Well,
if there's a statute that details all of that.
There's also a legal precedence that when it comes to things such as that the evidence is not produced. That it's a. I'm trying to remember what the name of that is. It was explained to me that the courts are advised to weigh in favor. In this case, of me, if the evidence is not, does not turn up.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, and that's why I said before. It's one thing to request something pursuant to the Public Records Act. It's quite another to serve a subpoena for documents.
Right, and that was the next.
Subpoena for documents is most of the time more expensive in its ability to reach documents than the Public Records Act is.
And that was the next step I was going to take. Is I was going to have to go the route of subpoenaing it. I was hoping that the county would at least, show a forthright effort and, letting me know something. Not dragging their feet and dragging it on for weeks on end, knowing that my statute of limitations clock is steadily ticking down.
Well, I understand, and we have to be consistent in how we administer. The fact that you are personally involved really doesn't support or detract your right to these documents. even though I know emotionally, personally, since they do involve you for the most part, I think actually all of it is.
Yeah.
I can understand feeling that you'd be entitled to that information, but that's not strictly true.
I mean, I'm fully prepared to go the subpoena route. I'm not. It's something that I was already prepared to do. I just, it's more of, this thing has been a double standard hypocrisy since day one. The legal system here in this city is drawn down partisan lines. It's all political. And I've determined that through numerous examples over the past several months. Prime example, the county was about 2 weeks late past the deadline on producing these. And actually the county had printed these records last Tuesday, the 23rd, and still sat on them for a week before they even gave them to me. But I requested all the police reports filed by Phyllis Crowder over the last 7 years because she has developed a habit of making false reports. And now actually going to trial for filing a false rape charge against me back in 2018. And the year before, she tried to put a false molestation accusation against me. And then through these 17 documents that, I just went through that I got yesterday, I mean, it's one after the other. At least 15 of the 17 are just completely gaffed off lies. Even the officers in their reports are, it's like they can tell she's just crazy, just making another false report. It's a double standard that Lafayette County can allow that to go on and not even pursue her for filing false reports, for making false reports. And it's like, it's just protection after protection for everybody else, but then I get hemmed up on a completely made up bogus charge. Without a doubt benefited four parties, including Lafayette County and Sheriff's Deputy Timmy Pruitt, the mayor, Robin Tannehill, her husband, Frank and Marley's, Todd and Ashley Lynch, and then Liz Crowder. I haven't seen my child since January, even though CPS categorically, denies that any of the things that she's trying to make claims to the sheriff's department, she's unfairly kept my child from me. So it's ridiculous. It's just been ploy after ploy to just destroy my rights.
Well, I appreciate what you just said, and I think you'll be hearing from Lisa Carlisle probably in the hour.
Okay.
Maybe 30 minutes or so. I've got it in front of me. I just haven't looked at it. But at least they did confirm to me that they said there was no recording. I know you take issue with that, but that's what I'm being told.
Yeah.
She'll confirm that with you in writing.
I just, I think that honestly, they would have told me that way earlier instead of just me having to request it 3 or 4 different times and going through the steps that I had to go through. Like if there was no recording, it would have been easy to tell me that from the beginning.
Yeah, understood.
FBI.
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking for, I think it's Colonel Morrison.
I can get a message to him, sir. What is your name, please?
My name's Matt Reardon. I need you guys. I need the help of the NBI.
Clearly. I really don't know who else to turn to. I'm quite dumbfounded. I don't know
What to do when the people that you turn to.
Your phone is kind of cutting out just a little bit, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was on Bluetooth. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you some better, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I've been dealing with a really big issue now for quite some time, and I've gone to different agencies, and they have ignored the cry for help. There's a desperate need for a racketeering probe to take place, and I'm ready to file civil charges on it, and I need them accompanied by criminal charges, really, for something of this large of nature. And I've reached out to the district attorney's office. The district attorney's office will not call me because they are part of the problem themselves. The FBI is part of the problem. They've destroyed records. The U.S. attorney's office is part of the problem. They told me to sit down with the FBI and are people in the FBI destroying records.
I've been targeted by 2 courts. I've been targeted by law enforcement agencies because the state of Mississippi has amassed so much liability on itself that I have 100% evidence of.
Okay, first of all, where are you calling from, Mr. Reardon?
I'm calling from Oxford, Lafayette County.
Okay. So you said when you said you had spoken with the DA's office, I'm just trying to find out what area you're from.
Yeah, the Lafayette County District Attorney's Office. Mickey Mallett. He's the assistant district attorney. I've reached out to him 3 different times, leaving voicemails. He was the district attorney that actually knowingly framed me back in May of 2017. In fact, they created a fake crime that was never even committed. It didn't even happen. All in order to silence me and to get rid of me, because it was all political. It was all to help get Robin Tannehill elected as mayor. And I've called up here before, and I've spoken about the whole thing with Robin Tannehill. Since then, at no surprise, I've been targeted. My ex filed a false report of rape on me, that she conspired with her husband, admitted that on a recording, that she conspired with her husband to frame me for rape. She was charged by Olive Branch Police Department, and the judge let her off with nothing but a fine. If she paid the fine and then she got no jail, I simply following the court's instructions and going to get court records, and the judge supposedly wanted to address me just for me showing up and answering the judge's question. He held me in contempt and jailed me. I was jailed December 28th here at the Lafayette County Detention Center for simply, I sent Joey East, the sheriff, emails about wanting, equal protection to the laws. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm being refused the equal protection to the laws. It's like the 14th Amendment has been completely decimated here. And it's all because of the amount of liability over the last 3 years that I've gathered on this whole entire witch hunt, that I've tried to have dealt with the proper way, and no agency has helped, has taken it seriously. They've in fact turned the gun around on me.
Have you spoken with the Attorney General's office on this, Lynn Fitch's office?
I've reached out. I've spoken to a couple of individuals. I was told that my information was going to get passed to somebody, and nobody reached out to me. So it makes me think that there's somebody
at the
really
Attorney
connected.
General. That's what I'm asking. At the Attorney General's office.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know who you spoke with there?
I spoke with a guy named Bo more recently.
Okay, and what was that agent's name?
His first name was Bo.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what his last name was. I remember it was Bo. I've got his cell phone number.
Okay, and he works with the Attorney General there in Boston?
Yes. Like I've never been so disheartened and literally worn smack out because I don't have an attorney representing me. I've been fighting a David versus Goliath battle here. I filed over 300 pages of court filings over the past few months, just under sworn affidavit exposing the fraud. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Okay, where are you now? In Oxford?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the heart of the Lions Den.
Okay. You're in where?
I'm in the heart of the Lions Den. Same place that politically framed me 3 years ago. I'm back in that same area because I have nowhere else to go.
Okay, what is the phone number for you, sir?
662-812-1613.
812.
1613.
You said 812.
Yes, ma'am. 662-812-1613. And I have called on Sheriff Joey East to publicly release the tapes of their arrest outside of the jail December 28th. And, he won't. It's clear that I was targeted by Deputy Courtney Dixon. In fact, I have prior videos of him showing his distaste for me, I simply said, I'll be happy to move whenever I speak to the sheriff. I parked in the parking spot right next to the sheriff, and I feel like him being a publicly elected official, it's his obligation. Should be his obligation to enforce the laws equally, to uphold the laws equally. That should already be a given. And, I wanted, when he checked my emails and refused to respond back, where I was simply wanting, her held accountable for the crimes. I haven't seen my daughter in the last year. It's been over a year since I've seen my 6-year-old daughter because my ex retaliated against me back in January when she got picked up on a warrant for rape, or for filing a false report of rape. She retaliated against me, kept my daughter away from me in violation of the court order, and her and her attorney have been living this lie since then, saying that Department of Child Services told her to keep the child away from her. And they adamantly deny it, but they are steadily living this lie out. And the court's not doing anything about it.
Do you have legal representation, sir?
No, ma'am. I don't have any money because this area has done everything they could to completely strip me down financially, take away my economic opportunity, and I'm in 5 different court battles right now. Like they've stacked stuff onto me, and no attorney will help me. It's like somebody it's like there's somebody pulling strings. Surely, I would think, with all the evidence that I have, some attorney would be, willing to come forward and help. But I can't even get an attorney to work with me. And I'm literally, I couldn't be more stripped down. I've got a wife and I've got 3 other kids, and they're directly suffering because of it. I have no choice but to fight my own court battle for time's sake, and I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'm going to pass this message to one of the agents. They can advise you of what we'll be able to do, or who can actually help you. Because I don't know that. I'm just trying to get information so I can provide to them so they'll know what the call is about.
I mean, I feel like if the FBI has destroyed a report and the U.S. Attorney's Office here in the Northern District is involved, that means the Department of Justice, because those are their 2 agencies. That would automatically pin the Department of Justice is having involvement. And, it's like, who else do I go to? The president? Well, I mean, the president who really would give a damn about this would he's out of office now.
Okay, sir. I apologize that all this is happening to you. I'm going to do my best to get a message. That's what I do, is get messages to the agents so they can give you a call.
Okay, can you take one other thing down for me? I've got 2 different websites that I have all the evidence on. It's mattreardon.com, MattReardon.com.
Okay, well, you can give them that information, sir, when they call, because I'm sure that they will have many questions. I'm just trying to get a general synopsis of what they need so I can dispatch the message to them. I'm not a law enforcement officer. I'm just a receptionist. So that's what I'm going to do, is get a message to them.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get the website, because it's an incredible story backed by evidence. It's truly a David versus Goliath battle here.
Okay, it's 662-812-1613.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your phone kind of cuts in and out, so I don't know if you have better service in one area or another.
Possibly.
Do you have a land? Is that a mobile number, or do you have a landline?
All I have is my cell phone, but if the service is bad, I can always try to go uptown and speak to somebody where I have better service.
All right. Well, let me get this message out, sir.
All right, thank you.
You have reached the office of Mickey Mallet. He is unavailable to take your call right now. If you will leave your name, number, case in which you are calling about, he will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you. Recording.
Mickey Mallet, Matt Reardon. 4th time calling. Haven't gotten a call back yet. Look, I know that you're in court and you're busy, but I still know that you check your voicemail. This is a serious matter. And I'm just beyond myself that I've yet to get a call back for you to even entertain the evidence. So I figured I would reach out one last time. If I don't hear from you today, the next call I'm going to make is going to be to the MBI, and I'm going to lodge a formal complaint on the district attorney's office in Lafayette County for refusing to look at the evidence of serious crimes being committed here. Please give me a call back, 662-812-1613, 662-812-1613. I've probably filed 200 to 300 pages of court filings just over the last, yes ma'am, is Mickey Mallet in? 3-4 months.
No, he's not.
And everything is well laid out,
yeah, is he gonna
well
be in
documented, and I've got tons of...
All right, I can't for the life of me understand why I'm not getting a call
Please give me a
back
call,
from the district
662-812.
This is the 4th time now, calling and leaving a message, and it's a serious matter. And it's got me at odds that the district attorney simply is not doing his job and calling me back on a major issue.
He really hasn't been in, sir. I mean, he was in court.
Yeah, but he checks his voicemails. He's got a job to do still.
Okay, would you like to leave him another message?
Sure.
All right.
I'm sorry, that party is not available. To try another extension, enter it now. To leave a message, press 1. To exit, press the star key. For assistance, press 0.
You have reached the office of Mickey Mallet. He is unavailable to take your call right now. If you will leave your name, number, case in which you are calling about, he will return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Recording.
Mickey Mallet, Matt Reardon, 4th time calling, haven't gotten a call back yet. Look, I know that you're in court and you're busy, but I still know that you check your voicemails. This is a serious matter, and I'm just beyond myself that I've yet to get a call back for you to even entertain the evidence, to even look at it. So I figured I would reach out one last time. If I don't hear from you today, the next call I'm going to make is going to be to the MBI, and I'm going to lodge a formal complaint on the district attorney's office in Lafayette County for refusing to look at the evidence of serious crimes being committed here. Please give me a call back, 662-812-1613, 662-812-1613. I've probably filed 200 to 300 pages of court filings just over the last, 3-4 months, and everything is well laid out, well documented, and I've got tons of evidence galore in reserve to substantiate everything that I've been going to. Please give me a call, 662-812-1613.